What keep doing black phone on my bed?
Did I not pick it up?
You go on, we'll catch up with it.
Israel, can y'all hear me okay?
No, I can hear you fine.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure before we got started.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Thank you.
Hey,
Thank you
Izzy,
to everyone.
Okay.
Izzy, you guys need better lights in there.
I know, we're in the dark right now.
I can't even see your face barely.
You see me now? See me teeth?
Here you are. Hi, honey.
Edie. You have a long one today?
Nah.
We'll see.
We'll see.
I hope not. But we'll see.
All right, Benny, you just put yourself on notice, Benny. Don't you be doing that to us. You hear me? Don't you be doing that last time, guy. Come on now. Well,
It's
help me
Jose
out.
not being around here.
Oh, it's morning. Okay.
Recording in progress. Recording in
because she was on.
California.
Anybody hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you fine.
Okay, I couldn't tell if I was on mute or unmute.
Normally I mute everybody until we get started and it's your turn to talk. Then you can unmute yourself. When you hear your name called by Judge. Looks like we have a lot on. Is everybody ready to start? Ms.
Yes,
Flournoy?
Never done this before.
That's all right, Mr. Ludwig, no problem.
Good morning. Yes, ma'am, I am.
All right, good deal. Let's see, I've got Adam coming in. Mr. Garner's here. Good morning, Mr. Garner.
Good morning, Liz.
How are you today?
Well, I'm better than yesterday because I was tired. We was working hard.
You guys were working hard yesterday.
I know the judge was tired.
Oh, yeah. Especially since it was his birthday. And I know he was like,
Oh, no.
I said, I got to work. I make you work on your birthday.
I had to work on my birthday.
I did too. Actually, I didn't this year. It was on a Sunday.
Mine was on a Thursday.
All right. Let's see. Okay. I think that we're just about ready. I know we're waiting on one Mr. Hud to come from Recorder's Court. I'll let Judge know that it looks like we're about ready to start.
There we go. Vanessa, can you get me Michael Hill's signed order over? I sent it to you on Monday, I believe. We got so
Valley.
many of them.
Sorry, Mr. Biddy. Valley Jones, we ready at the jail?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
I will.
Thank you, ma'am.
Hey, those three here. Three. Oh, you gotta get them.
Okay.
Good morning. We'll begin with the criminal trial docket call. Number one, Brenda Yeomans is passed for this calendar. Number two, State of Georgia versus Douglas Byrd. Mr. Guzman, is there an announcement from Mr. Guzman?
There is
Ms.
not
Barker?
an announcement on this particular case, Judge.
Judge,
All right.
I have Mr. Guzman's docket. That case has been in bench warrant status since 2017. My guess is that bench warrant is still valid, and we have not heard from Mr. Byrd.
All right, thank you. All right, number three, Christopher McBride. Is there a defense attorney for Christopher McBride?
Judge, in position 4, I have Jose listed. That case has been in bench warrant status from 2014. Same announcement as number 2. If we hear from Mr. McBride, obviously we will update the court.
All right, thank you, Mr. Biddy. Number 5 is Michael Champion. Ms. Flournoy, the notes that I have from Mr. Guzman in this case are that his client stands on his not guilty plea, but also adds that it's not ready because it needs to be re-indicted, which is usually something the district attorney is telling me.
This case was on the docket yesterday for a plea, and we had basically worked out something with it. But I will go ahead and the accusation is drawn. I will go ahead and present the indictment to the grand jury since we didn't resolve it yesterday.
All right, it will be off of the trial docket for the week of the 27th. Number 6, you'll read the announcement by Mr. Kendrick is not guilty. All right. Mr. Kendrick is involved in a trial on the 11th floor, so this case will be given a T number. Number 7, Brandon Barfield. Brandon Barfield.
I believe that's down for a plea today. We just asked for it to be put on the next non-jury as Mr. Guzman's unavailable today.
All right. When would that be, Miss? When would that be, Miss Leonard?
That will be October 14th or 15th.
Okay, well, let's put it down for the 14th. Number 8, Tiffany Fortson, announcement is not guilty. T number will be assigned to that case. Number 9, Tiana Lockett. There is also a note on my docket that says the case has been re-indicted. Is that correct, Ms. Flournoy?
Yes, sir, it is, and we will be submitting to the court of no price for this particular case.
All right. Well, I will leave it on the docket pending receipt of your motion for a null pros. Number 10, DeCarlos Warren. The announcement is not guilty by Mr. Guzman. A T number will be assigned to that case, subject to Mr. Guzman's availability regarding his leave status. Number 11, Antonio Denson. The announcement is not guilty. T number will be assigned under the same circumstances, subject to Mr. Guzman's availability. Number 12, Michael Vasquez. The defense, Mr. Fleitas, for the defense is asking for a pass for additional time to negotiate a guilty plea. Does the state have a position, Ms. Flournoy?
Your Honor, we are in negotiation. The state has made an offer. So I would say we wouldn't object to a pass on this one.
All right, this one will be passed for this coming trial week. Number 13, marijuana Edwards. I don't have an announcement from Mr. Guzman.
Judge, he's also positions 51 and 96. That'll be a not guilty on all three.
All right, the T number will be assigned to each of those cases. Number 14, Elias Tuck, the guilty plea was taken in that case yesterday. Number 15, Derek Ford, the announcement by Mr. Johnson is not guilty. So a T number will be assigned to that case. Number 16, Jaquarius Richardson. The announcement by Mr. Kendrick is not guilty, but also not ready because of discovery issues. Do you know anything about that, Ms. Flournoy?
Yeah, and I will look at the file and make sure he get any discovery that's not provided to him prior to trial week.
All right. We'll assign a T number subject to changing that if the discovery issues haven't been resolved. Number 17, Devon K. Marquise Wiskow. The announcement from Mr. Eddings is not guilty, not ready because of discovery issues. Do you know anything about that, Ms. Flournoy?
Yeah, the numbers 17, 15, 16, 17 are the same case, and it's co-defendants in that case, Your Honor. We will be working to get the discovery to them at this point, and also Mr. Eddings having a immunity hearing that he needs to set down as well.
All right, well, we'll assign a T number subject to change. Number 18, Christopher Gaucher. My notes are that it should be passed because he's been accepted by the mental health court program. Any objection, Ms. Flournoy?
No objection, Your Honor.
It's passed. Number 19, Deja Patterson. The announcement by Mr. Guzman is not guilty. A T number will be assigned. Number 20 is Ray Cokes. I don't believe we took a guilty plea in Mr. Cokes' case yesterday, did we, Mr. Garner?
Yeah, did not take a guilty plea because he's been arrested and put in jail. He's in the Muskogee County Jail, and he's charged with probation violation. And what I'd like to do, Your Honor, is he's got a good offer from the state, and he needs to take it. I talked to him yesterday, and he's thinking about taking it. What I'd like to do is go ahead and give him a T number and put him down for October the 14th. He needs to take a plea. I just got to explain to him. He needs to.
All right.
Chance to talk to him because I only got to talk to him a minute on the phone. I need to go down to the jail and see him.
Sure.
And I think
All
we
right.
can get it straightened out.
All right, as you request, you'll be assigned a T number. Ms. Leonard, if you'd put it on our October 14th docket as well. Number 21, Owen Lair. The announcement from Mr. Watkins is not ready. He's awaiting an offer from the state. Do you know anything about that, Ms. Flournoy?
Your Honor, we've been attempting to get together and negotiate this case and we have not had an opportunity to discuss the case, but I will send him an offer. I would suggest we put it down for 10/14 or 10/15 and try to get it resolved.
All right, we'll set it down for 10/14 and take it off the trial docket. I'm gonna ask you to bear with me for just a moment while I take care of something in the courtroom.
So you did.
All right, we're back. Number 22, Zachary Norris. The announcement by Mr. Jackson is not guilty. A T number will be assigned to that case. Number 23, Kayron Carey is marked on my docket as a guilty plea, having been taken yesterday, but we only took one guilty plea yesterday. Mr. Garner, can you answer for Mr. Johnson?
Mike,
You're
unmute
muted,
yourself.
You're muted.
Go in there on yours and tell them.
Okay.
Judge,
We were on Kayron Carey, number 23.
he's in medical isolation, Judge.
Okay.
They can do it later.
All right. He'll be passed for this trial week. Number 24, Demetria Thomas. Mr. Guzman announced not guilty. A T number will be assigned. Number 25, Alexander White. Mr. Kendrick announces not guilty. A T number will be assigned. Number 26, Rebecca Amari. Mr. Guzman announces not guilty. A T number will be assigned. Number 27, Kimberly Collins. We have no announcement in that case. Is Ms. Dillon on the line?
I am, Your Honor. I've never had contact with Miss Collins. My notes say that her notice was returned way back in March and that sometime after that on the calendar, she failed to appear. So there may be a bench warrant for her.
There he is.
Judge, there is a bench warrant.
All right. Thank you, Ms. Leonard. Thank you. Number 28, Marcus King. Mr. Guzman announces not guilty. A T number will be assigned. Number 29, Antonio Jones. Mr. Guzman announces not guilty, and a T number will be assigned. Number 30, Laurel Brown, asking for a guilty plea day. Let's set it down for October the 14th for a guilty plea, Ms. Leonard. Number 31, Charles Norris. Ms. Dillon, what's the announcement for Mr. Norris?
Your Honor, we have a plea worked out. I just wasn't able to get the paperwork done. So whenever the court wants to set that for a guilty plea is fine with me.
All right, let's do that on October the 14th also, Ms. Dillon.
All right, thank you, Your Honor.
Yes, sir. Number 32, Monty Robinson. The announcement by Ms. Henderson is not guilty. The T number will be assigned. Number 33, John Gaffney. The announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. Number 34, Kayron Carey. The announcement by Mr. Bobby Jones is that he's asking for a pass. He's waiting for, doesn't specify what he's waiting for, but he said he's waiting for something from the state. Do you have, can you shed any light?
This is the case that where you granted his motion to sever the cases, the accounts on here, and we have to redo the indictment and indicate which case we want to try first.
All right, thank you. It'll be passed for this term. Number 35 is Rodney Tiller. The announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. Number 36, Neil Williams. Mr. Guzman indicates that there's a psychological evaluation pending. Is that your understanding, Ms. Flournoy?
Yes, sir, it is.
All right, so it will be passed. Number 37, Jeffrey Copeland. The announcement is not guilty, and we were going to take that up again today on the motion to dismiss or in the alternative a bond reduction or an unsecured judicial release. So we'll assign a T number for this case unless it's otherwise handled later today at the hearing, on our hearing docket. Number 38, Jonathan Finney, the announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. Number 39, Bobby Battle, Mr. Guzman indicates that there's a psych eval, and unless the state has information to the contrary, this case will be passed for the term.
No,
Number-
state term.
Thank you, Ms. Flournoy. Number 40, Demetrius Culp, asking for a guilty plea day. Let's set it down for October the 14th. Ms. Leonard, when we get to a point where you think we're full, let me know and we'll go to the 15th.
Yes, sir.
Now, number 41, Christopher Gaucher is passed. He is in mental health court. Number 42, Randy Lewis. No announcement. Does someone have an announcement for Mr. Deaver, or is Mr. Deaver on the Zoom call?
Mr. Deaver is on, Judge.
All right.
I'm on, Your Honor. He's got a couple of cases. I do have an offer. I have to relate to him again, but that will be a plea, I'm sure, Your Honor. But until he signs, I would just put it down on the trial calendar.
All right.
Give
Thank
the
you, Mr.
number.
Deaver. The T number will be assigned on that case. Number 43, Lamont Brown. Mr. Kendrick asking for a guilty plea day. We'll set it down for 10/14. Number 44, Sylvester Ellison. The announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. Number 45, is Jeffrey Wilson. This defendant will need an American Sign Language interpreter, and we're going to set it for trial the week of October 25th. So it will be off of our docket for this coming trial week. Number 46, Adrian Palmer. The announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. 47, Ashley Truitt. Not guilty. A T number will be assigned in that case. And I would ask, excuse me. I would ask the district attorney's office to prepare a transport order in this case, as the defendant is currently in the Coweta County Jail. Number 48, Johnny Mahone. The announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. Number 49, Charles Duffy. What does the state have an announcement on this? Mr. Guzman indicated that it was to be administratively handled, but that would normally come from the DA.
Your Honor, we discussed it and we've agreed to place it on the dead docket. So I will get that, move to place it on the dead docket. So I will get that order to the court.
Thank you. Thank you. It's off the calendar.
Yes, sir.
Number 50, LaMarcus Edmonds. Mr.
Judge,
Biddy,
I have a note that's it looks like he missed docket call on the 18th of last month and a bench warrant was issued. Obviously it's Mr. Guzman's case, but I'm unaware of Mr. Edmonds making any contact with us.
All right, thank you.
Judge, if we could, Mr. Duffy is on the call. Do you need to stick around any longer, Mr. Duffy? I believe you're free to go. This is just a docket call.
Okay, because I was just trying to figure out if or when I can sit there and get everything done. But all right, since it's a docket call, that is absolutely fine. I just need the heads up on next time if I got a video call because I only got the paper to show up at court.
Mr. Guzman had a health emergency at the last minute. He was supposed to be here for this today. I will see him tomorrow. I'll get him to get in contact with you.
All right, appreciate it.
All right, thank you,
all.
Mr. Duffy. You can drop
Yes,
off
sir.
if you like. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, sir, Mr. Biddy. Number 50 is in bench warrant status. Number 51, Mr. Marijuana Edwards. What was the announcement earlier in this case?
It's just a not guilty, Judge. He's also
Not
position 96.
All right, T number will be assigned. Number 52, Madison Biggers. Guilty plea date is requested. We'll assign it to the October 14th docket. Number 53, Russell Bailey. The announcement is not guilty, and a T number will be assigned to that case. Number 54, James Davis. I don't have an announcement, Mr. Biddy, from Mr. Guzman.
Judge, that case has been in bench warrant status since last year. I assume it will persist in that status until we hear something or Mr. Davis is brought before you.
All right, thank you. Number 55, Donovan Harrington. The note here from Mr. Watkins is that the case is being transferred to rapid resolution.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay, it's off the docket. Number 56, Naisha Shorter. Mr. Lakes, are you on the Zoom this morning?
He has not joined yet this morning, I don't believe.
All right, a T number will be assigned to this case. Number 57, Shakeith Butler, not guilty, Mr. Garner. And the T number will be assigned to that case. Number 58, Nair Horace. The announcement from Mr. Eddings is it's not guilty, but not ready due to discovery issues incomplete. Can you shed any?
We're working to get all the discovery to the defense, and it should be prior to the trial date. It should be made available to them.
All right, then a T number will be assigned. Number 59, Richard Inglet. Mr. Biddy.
Judge, Mr. Inglet is also position 67. There's a pending mental health eval going on in that case.
All right, thank you.
That is correct, Your Honor.
Okay. Both of his cases will be passed then. Number 60, Wendy Wilkes. Mr. Deaver.
Yes, Your Honor.
Your announcement in this?
She's in the system, Your Honor. That's going to be a plea, but she was in the system the last time I checked. I don't know that she's been brought over, and I'm not sure exactly where she is. She actually wrote a letter to that effect. I'm not sure how you want to approach this, Your Honor.
I'm going to put it on the October 14th plea docket, and I would ask the district attorney to do a transport order or production order to have her brought from the system for that guilty plea. She also is in position 61, the same in that case. He'll be set down on the plea docket for the 14th of October.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yes,
Judge
sir.
Smith?
Yes, ma'am.
We actually, if it's okay with you and you want me to do this, I can actually arrange the hearing virtually with DOC, so she would not have to be transported from her home prison. I just need to know where her home prison is. If that's something you'd like to do.
I'd be happy to do it by Zoom if the defendant is willing to do it by Zoom, so that she doesn't have to be transported. But
I think she is, Your Honor. She sent me a message in a letter, actually. So I may have where it is, but her letter was saying she wanted to get these taken care of.
All right.
So something we can
Well,
do. I will supply that information, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. I feel confident between you, Ms. Flournoy, and Ms. Barker, you can locate Ms. Wilkes, and if she's willing to do this by Zoom, I'll be happy to accommodate. Number
Thank you, Your Honor.
60, yes, sir. Number 62, Keanya Spencer. Mr. Eddings is saying not guilty and believes the case is going to be null-prost. Ms. Flournoy?
Yeah, enter into an agreement for it to be null-prost. I have not gotten proof that the restitution has been paid at this point. I would ask that it be placed on the 1014 or 1015 docket so we can go ahead and dispose of this if that is the case.
All right, it's off the trial docket, but will be on the October 14th plea docket. Number 63, Brian Blair.
Judge, I have a note that no contact has been made with Mr. Blair. I don't know what the state wants to do with that, as this is a docket call and he has a representative. I'd ask that a bench warrant not be issued, but my guess is it would be if the state asked for it.
Well, why don't we just set it down for trial on the 27th? And if Mr. Blair is not there, I would certainly entertain a motion for a bench warrant at that time. Is that agreeable, Ms. Flournoy?
Yes, Your Honor, that is agreeable. And given the status that Mr. Guzman has some excuse from the court, I don't think a bench warrant would be appropriate at this point either.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you. Number 64, Kiana Spencer, will also set down on the plea calendar for October the 14th, and it's off the trial calendar. Number 65, Amanda French. Mr. Lakes?
He is still not joined yet, Judge.
All right, a T number will be
The
assigned.
last information I had, she's incarcerated in the state of Alabama. I'm not sure exactly where, but I have to look at my previous notes, but she's incarcerated.
Judge, we already have a bench warrant for purpose of hold on her as well.
Thank you. That was my next question, Ms. Leonard. You anticipated it. Thank you. Number 66, Erica Landers. If Mr. Lakes isn't here, a T number will be assigned. 67, Richard Inglet.
Same announcement, Your Honor. He's under, there's a pending eval on that one.
Okay, thanks. Thank you, it's passed. 68, Christopher Story. The announcement is not guilty and a T number will be assigned. Number 69, guilty plea. Says was set for yesterday. That did not occur. Well, we will move it to October the 14th for a guilty plea. Number 70, Tedrick Thompson, not guilty. A T number will be assigned. 71, Byron Martin stands on his not guilty plea. A T number will be assigned. Number 72, Adrian Cole. I don't have an announcement, Mr. Biddy.
That's been in bench warrant since last year, Your Honor. Obviously, we'll update the court if we get in touch.
All right, thank you. Number 73, Eddie Riggins stands on his not guilty plea. A T number will be assigned. Number 74, Jamie Denson. What can you tell me about this, Ms. Flournoy? Mr. Watkins is asking for a pass and said it's likely to be handled administratively.
Your Honor, I'm not aware of that. I've not had any discussion with Mr. Watkins. We can put it down for the 14th for the status because I need to discuss it with him. I have no knowledge of that.
All right, thank you. All right, we'll move it to 1014 on the motions, on the motions docket. 75 Charles Boston.
That case has a pending mental health eval as well, Your Honor.
It will be off the trial calendar. Pending the receipt of the evaluation. Number 76, Charity Fulmore. The announcement is not guilty. The T number will be assigned. 77, Calvin Bussey. The announcement is not guilty. A T number will be assigned. 78, Anthony Houston, not guilty. Plea is maintained. A T number will be assigned. 79, Anthony Pritchett Hodges. A guilty plea did not take place in that case yesterday. Was it passed because of Mr. Guzman's leave, Mr. Biddy?
It was, Your Honor.
All right.
Just asked for the 14th of next month.
It'll be set down for the 14th. Number 80, Shannon Buckner. Mr. Lakes. T number will be assigned. 81, Shannon Buckner. Likewise, a T number will be assigned. Number 82, Juan Tiznado Gonzalez maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned. Number 83, Christopher Wade maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned. 84, Kenneth Henderson maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned. Number 85, Creona Richmond, the notes indicate it's going to be a guilty plea today.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. We will take care of that. And if he successfully enters a guilty plea, it'll be off the trial calendar.
Thank you, Your
Honor. Number 86, Benedict Weatherly maintains his not guilty plea. And a T number will be assigned on that. Pending a ruling. Well, when did we set that down for Monday afternoon for continuing to complete the motion to suppress. Is that correct, Mr. Garner, Ms. Flournoy?
Yes.
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right, we'll assign a T number. Of course, that's subject to change. Number 87, Christopher Nicholas, not guilty plea. T number will be assigned subject to being removed. 88, Willis Peoples maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned. 89 is Michael Davila, maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned. Number 90, Siberia Page maintains not guilty plea, and that case will have a T number assigned. 91, Ken Ludwig maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned. Number 92, Quentin Morgan maintains his not guilty plea and a T number will be assigned.
Your Honor.
Number 9.
I apologize. I don't want to get in any trouble. I apologize to you. My name is Ken Ludwig, and we all send a letter in the mail because this time here I got bounced around from the government center to the recorder's court, and then I called Jose Guzman's office. They said, no, you're supposed to do a Zoom meeting, and I just don't want to get a bench worn out for me.
No, sir. No, sir. Mr. Ludwig, you're fine. Your attorney answered on your behalf. Mr. Guzman is on an emergency leave, so he's not here today.
Yes, sir.
But he he maintains your not guilty plea for you.
Okay.
And what I've done is I've assigned it a T number. It'll be on the trial calendar the week of September 27th. Just stay in touch with Mr. Guzman. You're welcome to stay on the Zoom call with us or drop off. No one's asking for a bench warrant against you, Mr. Ludwig.
Okay, so what will I do on September 27th, Judge? Will it be another Zoom meeting?
You'll need to stay in touch with Mr. Guzman. There's another gentleman in the public defender's office, Mr. Biddy, B-I-D-D-Y.
Right.
You might want to call him and he can give you some information offline this morning.
Yes, sir. Okay.
Thank you.
Judge, I apologize for that.
No reason to apologize. I'm glad you spoke up.
Yes, sir.
All
Thank
right,
you
number
very much,
90,
sir.
number 93, Brontavious Kroll maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned in that case. Number 94, a guilty plea date is requested. We'll set that down on October the 14th. Number 95, Christopher Nicholas. T number will be assigned to that case. Number 96, Marijuana Edwards. T number will be assigned to that case. '97, Jason Horn. Don't have an announcement by Mr. Guzman.
Mr. Horn is on with us.
All right. Well, he has counsel though. Mr. Biddy, do you have any information?
Judge, that's just a not guilty. And Mr. Horn, Mr. Guzman will be back later today. Try and contact our office tomorrow and you can discuss this further with him.
Okay, sir, I have a question also. As far as when I talked to him last time, he said if I got Julie Downey to write a letter stating that she
so
you don't need to share that with us on this call.
I don't want to talk
Okay.
about the specifics of your case. We're
Okay.
being broadcast and we're in court.
Okay.
If you have time tomorrow or Friday, call our office and ask to speak to Jose and they'll transfer you over.
Okay, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You're welcome. A T number will be assigned. Number 98, Mandy Tolan, seeking a plea date. That'll be October the 14th. Number 9, Sylvester Ellison. Mr. Biddy.
That's a not guilty, Judge.
All right. T number will be assigned. Number 90, no, that was 99, 100. Courtney Gunn.
Judge,
Mr. Biddy.
that's down for a guilty plea today. I just asked for the 14th of next month because Mr. Guzman's not here.
All right. It'll be moved to the October 14th plea calendar. Number 101, Brock Martin maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. 102, Richard Fowler.
It's a not guilty.
T number will be assigned. Number 103, James Davis.
That's been in bench warrant since 2020.
Right. Number 104, Malin Dyer. Maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 105, Leotis Sheldon maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 106, Amanda Couch maintains her not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 107, Nikki Mims.
There was a bench warrant issued on that in May.
All right, thank you. 108, Christopher Floyd maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 109, Amanda Couch, again, maintains her not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 110, James Fritzke. Mr. Kendrick, on his behalf, maintains the not guilty plea, but is asking the district attorney for an offer for a global resolution. I'm going to assign a T number And perhaps that can take place. If not, we'll deal with it between now and the trial week.
Your Honor,
Number one,
it was on the calendar yesterday, and because he's in trial, had to continue. And I believe it will be on like the October 14th trial date for a guilty plea.
you want to move it to a motion to a plea day instead of a trial date?
Yes, sir.
All right, we'll move it to 10/14. 111, Joshua Fredit maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 112, Hagan Fredette maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. Number 113, Thomas Gutierrez maintains his not guilty plea, and a trial number will be assigned. And then finally, 114, Vincent Carpenter maintains his not guilty plea, and a T number will be assigned. And that concludes the call of the trial docket for September 27th. Now, we'll go to our criminal guilty plea docket. Number 1 is Brandon Thomas Barfield, which will have to be moved to the October 14th date due to Mr. Guzman's leave. Number 2, Joseph Lias, likewise will be moved to the October 14th docket. As well, number 3, Mandy Tolan, October 14th. And number 4, Leotis Sheldon, October 14th. All right, now to the status conference docket. Number 1, Carlos Walton will be moved to October 14th. Number 2, Maurice Abrams also moved to October 14th. Number 3, Maurice Abrams will be moved to October 14th. Number 4, Aaron Burgess will be moved to October 14th as a matter of necessity. Number 5, Stanley Stovall.
Good morning, Your Honor. Lorraine Moore on behalf of Mr. Stovall. We are ready this morning.
All right. What's the nature of the motion, Ms. Moore?
Your Honor, this is a motion to remove a 17-year-old case from the dead docket. This case was placed on the dead docket 17 years ago because restitution had been made to the victims. My client, Mr. Stovall, has had no arrest, no conviction since then. However, this matter is prohibiting him from applying for a weapons permit. I filed a motion to have it removed from the dead docket and a null pros entered. And my understanding is that the DA is going to object to that.
All right. ADA Nicholas Hudd is handling that case. The note is that he had a hearing at 9 o'clock in another court, would come or would sign on directly from that. So if you'll stay with us, Ms. Moore, we'll take that up as soon as he's back on the Zoom call.
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're welcome. Number 6, Eddie Riggins will be moved to October the 14th. Now the probation revocation docket. Number 1, Christopher Floyd has to be moved to October the 14th out of medical necessity. Number 2.
Judge,
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. We're going to move the VOPs to October 15th, if you don't mind.
15th. No, that's fine.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Number 2, Keith Campbell. Mr. Campbell, are you on the Zoom call?
Yes, sir, I am.
All right. Do you have an attorney?
No, sir. That's why I'm asking the courts that I need time to get another attorney.
All right. Well, let me ask you this. are you in a position to hire a private attorney, or do you need to speak to the public defender to see if you qualify for their services?
Can't speak to them, but I'm in position to hire an attorney.
Well, then you should do that. The public defender is only available to those who cannot financially handle hiring a private attorney. I'll move this until October the 15th, which is a month from today. Do you think that'll give you enough time to retain a counsel?
Yes, sir. I'm gonna speak with my mom. You know, you had signed a paperwork for me back almost 2 years ago to live with her because she's very sick, and I'm gonna speak with her though, about it. And I'm quite sure that'll give me enough time though.
All right. You'll get a notice to be either in court in person or via a Zoom call like we're doing today. If you hire an attorney, the attorney will enter an appearance and your attorney will get notice.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, Mr. Campbell, go ahead.
I came this morning, you had excused me, and the lady gave me the paperwork to get on the Zoom. I appeared this morning though.
Yes, sir, you did exactly the right thing. I'm moving your hearing until October the 15th so you can hire an attorney.
Yes, sir.
Now, there may be someone from community supervision who wishes to be heard.
I just wanted to know, I think Mr. Edding is on the call as well this morning, if he was ever retained by Mr. Campbell.
Did you hear that question, Mr. Campbell? Did you
Yes,
hire?
sir.
Did you
I had
hire
Mr. Eddings. I hired Mr. Eddings, but he removed himself from the case.
Okay.
Yes. Yes, Your Honor, he did hire us to secure a bond for Mr. Campbell, which we did do. We got him out on bond, and that's how he's at home now. And, we notified, I did let you know, Mr. Campbell, that we'll take this case for you, but, it is additional charge to do a revocation matter. So, but we're more than willing to take this matter for you. And if you want to retain us, that's your decision, but we're here, we're ready to roll up our sleeves and work for you. Just let us know.
All right.
Okay.
All right. Y'all take that up offline. And in any event, he'll be on the October 15th calendar. Thank you, Mr. Campbell, Mr. Eddings.
Thank you, Judge.
And
thank you, Judge.
You're very welcome.
I may be excused, sir.
Who's asking? Oh, are you asking Mr. Campbell? Yes, sir.
Maybe I be excused, actually.
You're excused. You can leave the call.
Thank you, Judge.
Yes, you're welcome. Lavelle Bell. Notes are that it's off because there is a consent order that's been entered. Number 4, Kashim Wheeler.
Judge, the next 2 cases I have noted, Mr. Guzman represents these people. Just asked that they be put down on the 15th. Those are going to be in person, correct?
We hope so. We hope so.
Hopefully Ms. Flournoy and Mr. Guzman can work something out. Candor to the court, Mr. Bell, we worked out a VOP bond on. That's going to be a contested revocation, so it needs to be in person. I'd ask for it to be on the 15th.
Which one is that? Which position, Mr. Biddy?
Number 3.
Number 3. All right. Thank you. All right. Now on the callback docket, number 1, Creona Richmond. Mr. Jarrett.
Yeah, that should be a plea, but we need a few minutes to get the paperwork together and submit it to the court. If we take a break, it shouldn't take much longer than that.
All right.
Ready, Your Honor.
All right. Number 2, Jeffrey Copeland was continued from yesterday so that the victim's mother could be on the Zoom call. Ms. Flournoy, is the victim's mother on the Zoom call?
She's
Ms.
muted.
Flurno, you're muted. We can't hear you.
Oh, I'm asking the victim advocate, Allison Force. I don't see her either.
I'm here. I spoke with her yesterday, and she does have to work this morning, so she was unable to be on this morning.
All right. Let's go ahead and finish this docket. Then I'd like to speak to the district attorney and Mr. Garner virtually in chambers after we've completed our docket today. We'll come back to this. Number 3, Christopher Floyd has to be moved out of medical necessity to the October 15th docket. The same is true for number 5, Metellus Epps, not for the same reason, but it's moved to October the 15th. Number 5, Mitchell Orr is moved to the October 15th docket due to the conflict that Ms. Henderson has. Ms. Barker, any word from Mr. Hudd?
I was just checking on him, but I see Deputy Jones and Deputy Valley at the jail room. Perhaps they wouldn't mind to step to this other courtroom and see if Mr. Hudd's still there. I haven't heard from him.
Thank you. Let's do that.
Yes, I will check it.
Thank you.
Mr. Hudd has relayed to me that he has one more case in Recorder's Court.
All right. All right, then. Let's take a recess until he is out of Recorder's Court and can join us by Zoom on the case with Ms. Moore. Mr. Garner and Ms. Flournoy, if you would call my chambers, we'll just do this via a conference call. I just want to speak with you. Then if need be, we'll come back and have the hearing, continuation of the hearing from yesterday on Mr. Copeland. Thank you. We'll be back just as quickly as possible.
Ms. Barker, Liz.
Yes, sir.
Hey, did y'all say anything about Christian Beckner
On the docket call,
on the arraignment guilty pleas?
arraignment.
Y'all say anything about her guilty plea?
Bickner, hold on. I don't see that name on here.
Beckner. We got her down in the jail that she's here supposed to be coming.
Oh, Kristen Beckner. She, Jose represents her. She's moved to October 15th.
Okay. So Beckner and Cassine Wheeler can be taken off.
Yes, correct. October 15th for both of those.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Sure thing. Good morning, Mr. Hudd. I see you just joined us.
Good morning, Your Honor.
Well, oh, he'll be on in a minute.
Um,
I'm gonna let him know you're on, okay? But thanks, that's a nice
Thank you,
compliment. All right, I'll let him know we're ready.
All right, we're back on the record. We'll go to case of State of Georgia versus Stanley Stovall Jr. Mr. Hudd, you're with us, is that correct? Mr. Hudd, yes. Are you there, Mr. Hudd? There's someone, okay. Mr. Hudd, are you with us?
Yes,
Ms. Parker is the.
Your Honor, I'm representing the state on this motion.
All right. Ms. Moore, are you with us still?
Yes, Your Honor, we're here.
All right. Are you ready to proceed, Ms. Moore?
Yes, I'm ready, Your Honor.
Whenever you're ready.
Thank you. Your Honor, just briefly, this is a motion that I filed on behalf of my client, Stanley Stovall. Back in 2003, Mr. Stovall was arrested for the offense of theft by deception, 2 counts. A year later, in 2004, he was indicted for those offenses in July of 2004. 3 months after that, in October, the matter was placed on the dead docket, and the specific comment contained in the dead docket indicated that restitution had been paid to the victim in full. Your Honor, of course, the judge who signed off on the dead docket, Judge Doug Pullen, is now deceased. Mr. Stovall's attorney at the time, Patrick Airwell, is now deceased. And the prosecutor who handled the case, Ms. Bagley, is no longer in this area. I believe she's in the Atlanta area. Your Honor, Mr. Stovall, for the past 17 years, has not been arrested, has never been convicted of a felony offense, and went to the probate court recently to apply for a gun permit and was denied a gun permit because this matter is still pending. So, Your Honor, we're simply asking the state to remove the case from the dead docket because as of a recent Supreme Court decision, Georgia Supreme Court decision, the Seals case, the Supreme Court has clearly said that a dead docket is not a final disposition. It permits it, and so it is preventing him from obtaining this gun permit. We're asking the state to remove the case from the dead docket and effectively null pros the case. The dead docket itself indicates that there was no intention by the state whatsoever to prosecute Mr. Stovall for this offense. This was not a situation where witnesses were missing, where for whatever reason, they could not move forward with prosecution at the time and merely needed to use a dead docket to give them time to make a case. This is not that situation. This case cannot exist in perpetuity. So at this point, we're asking the case to be moved from the dead docket and null pros. If the state does not believe the case should be null pros, then it's their responsibility to get it ready for trial. We'll file a motion in preparation, and then ask the court that it be at some point scheduled. That's our position, and that's all we have at this time.
All right, Ms. Moore, if you know, was Mr. Stovall, after he was indicted, was he ever arraigned before the case was placed on the dead docket?
Your Honor, there are waivers of arraignment in the case file. As best as I can tell, there are his attorney filed waivers.
All right, thank you for that information. Mr. Hudd, for the state, does the state oppose removing the case from the dead docket?
Yes, Your Honor, the state is opposed. We made efforts to contact both victims in this case. My victim advocate, Mr. Mahadeo, spoke with both of them. One of them, Ms. Scott, was vehemently opposed to it being removed from the dead docket and dismissed, and she expressed a wish that this case be prosecuted. Mr. Nguyen, I believe, his last name is N-G-U-E-N, excuse me, N-U-G.
When? It's just when?
Gwen. Mr. Gwynn said that he was fine with it being removed from the dead docket and null pros because he had received restitution.
So far as you know, did the other alleged victim receive restitution?
Your Honor, I do not know, and he did not relay whether she had received restitution to my victim advocate or not.
All right.
We could reach out to her and see if she received restitution and talk to her about what she wants to see out of this case.
All right.
I believe, and I'm sorry,
yes.
When you say her, are you referring to Ms. Scott?
Yes.
Oh, okay. I see she's on the Zoom.
Well, Ms. Moore, you made an opening, and perhaps we could take that as a proffer, or if you like, you can swear Mr. Stovall and have him testify, perhaps on the issue of whether he made restitution or not. That's up to you, but particularly on the prejudice that he suffered by the case remaining on a dead docket for 17 years. And then the state can likewise call a witness if the state wishes to.
Yes,
please raise your hand. Do you swear or affirm that the testimony you're about to give in this matter should be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Thank you, Mrs. Stovall. You can lower your hand. You were, back in 2004, represented by Mr. Patrick Erickwell in this case, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
And based on your recollection, did you make restitution in full to both victims, Mr. Nguyen and Ms. Scott?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you now, 17 years later, have documentary proof that that restitution has been made?
Other than it being stated on the court documents, no, because of the amount of time that has passed.
Okay, so you personally never kept a record of the restitution that was made?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And That's all I have, Your Honor. Oh, and I'm sorry. 17 years later, do you believe that you will be able to secure proof that the restitution has been made?
I highly doubt that because of the time that has passed, it would be hard for me to secure that kind of documentation.
Okay. All right.
Any questions?
I just have one more question, Your Honor. With respect to the underlying charges, you were accused of 2 counts of theft. Again, 17 years later, do you believe that you would be able to secure the necessary witnesses or evidence in order to adequately defend yourself against these charges?
No, ma'am.
Thank you. That's all I have, Your Honor.
Cross-examination, Mr. Hud.
Yes, I'd like to begin at the end of defense counsel's argument. So you said you wouldn't be able to get the necessary witnesses. What witnesses wouldn't you have access to? Hello?
No, I don't understand.
If you don't understand.
Can you repeat that question, please?
So who would you need to call in your defense that you wouldn't be able to call because of the time?
Can you answer that?
I'm unsure of what you're asking. I guess the attorney who worked the case is now deceased. So I don't have any proof as to restitution being made other than those documents stating that restitution was made in full to both victims.
So you wouldn't be seeking any witnesses with regards to anything other than restitution for trial?
That's correct.
And in what ways has this being on the dead docket held you back in life?
Well, it's held me back. It's just hanging over my head. But recently, trying to apply to get the gun license, I can't get a gun license. So, and with me being self-employed, this is something that if I was to go and apply for a loan for my business or something else like that, if somebody had to do a background check, this could show up. And it could potentially still affect me 17 years later when restitution was made in full to both victims.
And did you ever petition to have this restricted or sealed on your record?
No, sir. After I made restitution, I thought that my attorney at the time would take care of that matter. I actually thought that this matter was taken care of. Had I not applied to get the gun license, I would not know that this was still something that was open.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Can you redirect, Ms. Moore?
I do. Mr. Stovall, were you ever provided any discovery documents whatsoever indicating what evidence the state intended to use against you at trial?
No, ma'am.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Anything further of this witness, Mr. Hud?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Ms. Moore, do you rest subject to rebuttal?
Your Honor, I would like the opportunity to question Ms. Scott.
The state intends
you would
call
like
Ms.
to call
Scott,
Ms.
Your
Scott
Honor.
as your witness?
I'm sorry, Mr. Hood, I didn't hear you.
The state intends to call Ms. Scott, but given the
No,
rule
that's
of
fine.
evidence, if you wish to call her, she would still be treated as a hostile witness as associated with a party opponent.
I'll reserve.
All right, thank you. Mr. Hud, your case.
Your Honor, the state would like to call Ms. Scott. Ms. Scott, are you present in the call at this time?
Yes, I am.
I want to make sure of something. Is Miss Little on the Zoom? Did she return?
Yes, Your Honor, I'm here. I've been here taking the call.
Okay, good. Thank you. Go right ahead, Mr. Hud.
And Ms. Scott, is your video functioning?
Yes, I'm trying to flip the camera around. Give me 1 second. There we go.
And would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear or affirm the testimony you will give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth in the case now before you, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
And just for the record, could I have you say your name again?
Wadidra Scott.
And you are the alleged victim in this case, is that correct?
That is correct.
And did someone from the victim advocate's office reach out to you and ask you questions about this case recently?
Not specific questions, just told me that there was going to be a trial and I was advised to attend the Zoom.
So just for the record, your understanding is that that there would be a trial coming up, is that correct?
Well, there would be a case coming up with someone from a case that was open in 2003 that had my name down as a witness, yes.
Okay. And when you spoke with the victim advocate, you said you were against the case being dismissed, is that correct?
Yes, I did.
And would you mind telling the court why you expressed opposition?
Because I did not feel like the case was prosecuted. I haven't heard anything for this case in over 17 years. Again, this happened to me in 2003 when I brought this up with the Federal Trade Commission and filed charges. I hadn't heard anything from anyone else prior to just recently.
And there is a contention that you were paid restitution. Did you receive any money back as a result?
I don't believe so. I haven't received anything from any lawyers, so no. Again, this is the first time I'm hearing about this case with Mr. Stovall. As far as I know, I filed the documentation and that was the end of it. I haven't heard anything from anyone.
And do you have documentation about how much you were out as a result of this alleged theft?
I have the emails that went back and forth between him and myself and the paperwork I filed with the Federal Trade Commission.
So when you say him, could you say who that gentleman is or was?
Stanley Stovall.
I'm sorry?
Stanley Stovall.
And how would you like to see this case resolved?
I would like to have some type of justice as being a victim. I'm not saying I want to withhold his right from getting a gun permit. Granted, yes, this happened 17 years ago, but still in all, I am still a victim.
So you just want some sort of judgment in your favor. And you'd be able to check on the amount of restitution and see if you had ever received it?
Yes, I can.
Thank you, ma'am. No further question at this time.
Ms. Moore.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Scott, has your contact information been the same for the past 17 years?
No, it has not.
Okay, but the district attorney's office was able to reach you and tell you that this matter was happening this morning, correct?
The only thing that's made the same is my cell phone number, ma'am.
Okay, so they called you?
Yes.
Okay, but again, they were able to notify you that this hearing was today?
That is correct.
Okay. How many times have you reached out to the district attorney's office in this past 17 years to inquire about the status of this case?
Never once.
Okay. Never called anyone?
No.
Never emailed anyone?
No.
Never went to the DA's office?
I live in New Jersey, so no.
Pardon?
I live in New Jersey, so no.
Okay, that's fair. Were you aware that, or let me rephrase it. Am I correct in that if the indictment says that the theft involving you was $305, would that be correct or incorrect?
That sounds about right.
Okay, all right. So you don't have any dispute as to the amount he's accused of taking, but you, I think your words earlier were, you don't believe that you've been restored. Is that correct?
That's correct.
You indicated that you no longer live in Columbus.
I never lived in Columbus, ma'am.
Okay, all right. I believe that is all I have for Ms. Scott.
Redirect Mr. Hyde.
No redirect, Your Honor. May I have a brief moment and call defense counsel privately?
Yes, that'll be fine. There's another matter that we can take up while you're doing that. Just mute your mics and stop your video.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. All right, let's go back to Jeffrey Copeland, issue 2019 CR 3110. Are you with us, Ms. Flournoy and Mr. Garner?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we're here, Your Honor, but I think I need to advise the court of something. These charges against Mr. Copeland, it was a number of events that allegedly took place in Muskogee and I believe Meriwether County. And Meriwether County, at the time this case originated, placed similar charges against Mr. Copeland. And they have placed a hold on him in the Muskogee County Jail. So I'd forgotten about that, but I looked into it this morning to make sure the bond amounts were correct. And when I saw our notes about the hold, he really can't make a bond because if he makes a bond, he'll be transferred to Meriwether County. And it's a complicated situation because we haven't really been able to do anything about the charges against him in Meriwether County.
Did you say Meriwether or Marion?
I think it's Meriwether County.
Okay.
Meriwether County.
All right.
So we haven't really been able to do anything about that because he's been held here in Columbus and all of that's just sitting there. So it's another complication because this thing is rocked on so long. But he couldn't make a bond in any amount because of the hold. It'd just be transferred to Meriwether County and we'd be right back in a situation where it'd be forever before they could get it going because they've been waiting on Columbus to take care of this thing. So I'm sorry, I should have told the court about that because it really throws a monkey wrench into the court's reasoning and trying to straighten this out.
Right. Well, Mr. Garner, if you went to trial on this on September 27th, and just for example, if Mr. Copeland were to be found not guilty in Muskogee County, he would still have to then go to Meriwether County to deal with those charges. Is that a fair assessment?
That's accurate, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Well, I still have your motion. You have your testimony on the 4 factors on the motion to dismiss that I've taken under advisement. I'll continue to consider that, but it doesn't seem that there's anything further we can do in Muskogee County today.
Your Honor, if I could add one thing, while we were talking about this yesterday, Ms. Flournoy indicated on the prejudice to the defendant factor that she didn't think the defendant had been prejudiced much. I just wanted to point out that being in prison and losing everything you got is the most severe form of prejudice you can have in a case. So there's no question that he's been most severely prejudiced by this.
Well, his co-defendant has also since passed away. Isn't that correct?
That's correct, Your Honor.
All right. Mr. Garner, if you're able to talk to the district attorney for the Coweta circuit, I think that's the right circuit, and come to some understanding that would impact on what we're doing in Muskogee County. Let Ms. Flournoy know that and let me know that, and we'll reconvene. But I still have your motion to dismiss under consideration.
Okay, thank you, Your Honor.
Do you think you had a time yesterday to adequately make out your case?
I did, Your Honor, except for that one point. I got to the argument that she made. I didn't get a chance to respond to it, but that would have been my only response. And I think everything else has been presented to the court.
All right, Ms. Flournoy, do you think the state has had an opportunity to adequately defend against this motion?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. All right. Well, thank you then. As I say, I have it under advised, but I'll rule on your motion. But please let me know if there are any developments in Meriwether County that would impact what we're doing in Muskogee County.
I'll do that, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Now, we're in recess for a few minutes for Ms. Moore and Mr. Hudd to discuss the Stovall case. I believe we've completed the docket.
Your Honor, we have an announcement on number 1 on the add-on, Creona Richmond. We were trying to get that for a plea today and we weren't able to get the paperwork together. So we would ask that it be moved till the 14th.
Yeah, no objections, Your Honor. That'll be fine with us.
All right, it's moved then to October the 14th. And
Thank
Mr.
you.
Jared, if that completes your business,
That'd be excused.
you're excused. And the
Thank
same
you.
for you, Ms. Flournoy, if that completes your business. You're
Thank you, Your
both
Honor.
you're both welcome to stay. You know that. You don't have to.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
Yes,
you.
sir.
All right. We'll stand in recess until we hear from Mr. Hudd and Ms. Moore. Thank you.
Ms. Barker, we are ready whenever you are.
Thank you. I will let Judge know.
All righty. Do you have an announcement or what's our status right now?
Your Honor, based on the telephone conversation with Mr. Hudd, I believe that we will be able to work this out. Is that correct, Mr. Hudd, or do you need to further discuss it with the victim?
I would like some time to further discuss it with the victim, but I believe we'll be able to work this out.
All right, just so that this doesn't float around without a date attached to it, let's set it down for a further hearing on October the 14th if necessary. If hearing is not necessary and you can resolve it and I need to sign an order for you, just submit it to me in chambers and I'll take it up immediately.
Will do, Your Honor.
Thank you, Your Honor.
I
I appreciate that.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. That was our last case, so we are adjourned. Thank you. Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
Thank you.
Bye, y'all. Have a great day.
Hi, Adam.